everyone, Ashley here again. Here's another home series kind of styling tutorials. Today we are going to talk about flat iron curls. So there's a lot that goes into doing flat iron curls. They are pretty easy, but there's a lot of theory behind it. So I'm going to go over that with you today. I'm going to start by showing you guys and my lovely assistant here some of the kind of reasoning behind flat iron curls, how to do it, and then once we're done with her and I kind of show you some tips and tricks, I'm going to go ahead and do it on myself so you can see and feel how to kind of to do it on you versus doing it on somebody else, which is kind of doing it on a man. Curls that you're going to be making are going to be based off of the positioning of the way that you hold the flat iron. So let's think of the flat iron like this. We'll always, for right now, we're going to point the top up. So if you're curling, we're all curling the same way and we're keeping the tip up the entire time. The way that you position the angle like this, that you hold the flat iron in positioning to your head, is going to determine how curly or not curly your curls are. So if you can see, I did some demonstration ones already on her. This one is the tightest curl, and this is more of like a traditional kind of curling iron curl. So you're going to get the tightest curl out of a flat iron when the flat iron is being held directly to the head at a flat angle like this, so perpendicular to up and down. So the way that I did this one was put it in sideways and pulled straight out, and you're going to get this really nice kind of tight coil. Now if we're looking at something that's more like a soft curling iron wave, not necessarily a beach wave, but kind of a soft S wave, we're going to take for our positioning from vertical like this, and we are going to just slightly angle it. So whichever way your curl's going, this curl is going to be going away from the face, like most people do. We're going to angle it towards the face. So we're going to go in, keep our flat iron at this kind of angled position, and pull out. And that way you're putting a bend in the hair, but it's not as a hard bend as doing the horizontal, which is going to give you the tightest bend in the hair. So basically what you're doing with your flat iron is, I like to say, have you ever curled a ribbon with scissors? What you're doing is you're actually heating the hair when it's passing through the flat iron like this, and then when you're bending and the hair is wrapping around the flat iron like this, you're using the tension from the hair rubbing against this edge to encourage a bend in the hair versus it staying straight. So you're not actually like heating or doing anything with the outside of the flat iron, you're merely just using the edge of it to put pressure on the hair to get it to curve. So the tighter pressure that you put on it, like doing this and putting it directly even all the way across, is going to give you much of a tighter spiral curl versus doing it like this, where you're going to get, you know, uneven tension throughout. Is going to be more of an angle, so your curl is going to be more of a wave than a circular pattern. You're kind of bending in like an oval or an ellipse shape into the hair when you're doing it. And I'm going to go vertical, almost no bend to the hair, and when we pull it out, you're just going to get kind of a soft wave. So that's the thought process behind the way that we hold the flat iron. I do like to start at the root, depending on kind of the hair type. If you have somebody that already has smooth or straight hair, you don't need to smooth down the root. You can kind of start curling in the middle. For someone like me, who my hair is a little bit fuzzy, I'm naturally curly, I'm probably usually a day dirty, I just like to go in and smooth it down before I actually start the curl. So I'm going to start at the root, and pretty much like the length of where the flat iron is. Once I move down the hair, I start to bend it, and then if you see, I maintain this angle, and where it's coming out is creating that texture, and we have just kind of one spiral through there. So it's going to be a nice soft wave. And move on to the next one. Of course, the smaller sections you take, the tighter the curl is going to be, because it's less hair. If you do a wider section, it's going to be a little bit softer because you're trying to put more hair into the flat iron, kind of the same way with a flat iron or a curling iron. Okay friends, so I am going to show you how I curl my hair with a flat iron when I'm just kind of looking for like a nice soft wave. Everything's going to be going the same way. As you can see, my hair's been up in a bun for a day, so it is a little bit dirty today. I already sprayed Spiritualized in it, which Spiritualized is one of our dry shampoos. This is our wet dry shampoo. So I am on, I believe, day 3 of not washing my hair, so I have already sprayed this down with Spiritualize and put it up while it dried. So you can see I have a nice kind of voluminous root already from that, and that's going to give me some kind of like nice fresh hair. I like to part my hair in 3 sections when I am curling it. I just think it makes it a little bit easier to handle the hair that way, and will make it a lot easier for you. So I like to do 3 sections. The beginning section kind of being from like the middle of your ear, so the nape of your neck, and you can adjust based on how much hair you have yourself. So I'll show you, it's just kind of about this much hair. I'm going to prep my hair with Trophy, which is a texture spray. So it has a tiny bit of hold in it, and it has a little bit of shine, and also has microbial protection. So I'm just going to mist this on both sides of my hair. So my flat iron right now is set to 360. I just have a Qi with an LED readout. This is actually my mom's, and it's a great one. I have a more professional brand, so anything that you use, this is going to be more consumer kind, will be easier for you guys to understand. We always want something with an LED readout. Not everybody's hair needs the same amount of heat on it, so it's nice to know exactly what temperature you're setting your hair on, and that's going to prevent it from damage. So I'm going to go and grab a section of my hair. Usually I do 4 kind of on underneath, so I'm going to grab a section towards the middle. This is how I do my trick to like not miss the middle, is just start with the middle piece so you know you already got it. So because I'm going away from the face, it's easier for me, instead of, it depends on how good you are at this and how your technique is. A lot of people will go like this and reach over their head, which is totally fine. You just got to pay attention to what angle you're putting it at. Like I said in the last video, depending on the angle is going to be dependent on how tight your curl is. I know for myself, I'm more comfortable putting my hand in front versus all the way over my head. So if I'm going to be putting it in like this, I already know that this is going to be at an angle. So I'm going to go in my underneath here. Make sure everything's nice and thoroughly heated. Perfect. And I usually like to go like this and kind of twirl them so they don't sit straight after I've curled it. And see, we've got just like a nice kind of S wave. So when they're done, I like to set them to the back so they can cool off and I don't have to touch them again. So again, I'm going to start with this side, start with the part nearest to the center. Get a nice bend in there. Cool. All right, look at that. So now we got all 4 on the bottom, and I'm gonna move up my head. So this area I like to kind of start at the temple and section all of that off. And so this section's about this wide. I'm gonna start again, taking my hair, sectioning it off, finding all the pieces that are not curled, starting in the back, and I'm gonna work my way around my head. So if it's too much hair, like you have bangs like me or part really far on the side, you can always do this kind of area, like your bang area, and section it to 2 parts to make it easier to handle, because now I have nice big parts. This is kind of like the underneath of my bang. And this part I like to be a little bit more detailed with, because it's just the front of my hair. I don't usually like them to be as curly, so you can see when I go down I end up kind of actually letting it go vertical, so the curl on the front's softer. And the front bangs, sometimes I don't even fully curl, I just kind of like bevel the ends so they're not sticking out straight, like that. And so you can see I haven't touched any of the curls, and what I will like to do after this is take my wet brush. I like to touch my curls first to make sure that they're all cooled. I go through and just break this up. So you can do this with a wet brush, you can do this with your fingers or like a white tooth comb, and it just kind of softens your curls. If you like them to be really smooth and kind of like linked in together, you can just continue brushing them down until they're like a smooth wave. I like mine to be a little bit more tousled, so once I brush them out to soften them, I'll go through and I'll kind of like scrunch my hair and make them a little piecier again. And then I will go back in with my finishing spray, which is also, again, Trophy, because it does have a little bit of hold, and that texture that's in it, because it is a texturizing spray, helps kind of support the curls. And I'll spray that into my hair and even scrunch it a little bit, because it will give me some nice piecey texture. And then I'll even lean back. Also, if you're looking to get some root lift to your hair, sticking your hands up underneath and shaking it like this also kind of helps fluff that hair up underneath. So with just, it's been about 10 minutes since I started curling my hair, you have a fully styled curled hairdo in the day, and it's really quick. You can do it and go. If it, you know, settles a little bit during the day and loosens up, it's still going to look really nice and polished. I like to wear this on day 2 because it's more of like a soft just S-wave versus curls, and you're good to go.